today the 3rd of June and it's extremely hot. Well, it is for me. 25 degrees is extremely hot to me. I've actually got a headache. Yesterday I helped out moving some wood chip at a community centre and I've had a headache ever since. I'm glad I helped though. So I brought loads of water today because this is my main stress, other than being hot and it not being the weather for digging, and yet I have to because I've brought all this stuff with me. It's keeping everything hydrated. So I brought 3 big containers and 2 of these. I brought little, this is a seam ripper, you use it for sewing, but I've brought it to just punch some holes in, and some things can self-water while I water other things. So that. I brought way too much with me again. I've told Andy to leave me for as long as possible, but he said he's coming back at 7. It's now 4:25 already. We've been for some manure from the stables down the road, just a little bit. So I brought with me, we went to Pimbo Garden Centre today. I needed some more compost to repot my tomatoes in the greenhouse at home. So I picked up a sage pineapple, which I had one before. If you've watched my previous vlogs, when you rub the leaves it smells of pineapple and it gets really nice little red flowers on. Although the one that I had at home, it was a couple of years old and it did initially have green underneath the bark right at the bottom. I think it's eventually, I've gone overboard. They don't like it being sat in water, and I've gone overboard watering it because I thought I'd let it go really dry. See, I sway from one thing to the other. Either things are really dry or I drown them. But I think it's dead, so it was only $1.99, so I thought I'll buy another one of those and I'll take cuttings of that as well. These are my red popping corn. I brought some spur normal yellow corn to just fill in some gaps, because there are gaps over there. I've brought my cucumber market more. Sorry. And some crystal apple cucumbers as well. What else have I got in here? French beans, because the ones that had direct sown did rotted, I think. A few more crystal apple. I bought this as well, a bergamot. I had looked for seeds of this on all the seed stands everywhere and I couldn't find it. This is actually bergamot lemon. Doesn't smell very lemony to me, but the bees love that, and I think it's a really lovely pretty pink as well, so it'll just make the place look cheery. I brought my spring onions, both lots of spring onions. So there's this lot and another lot in another pot, I think, probably underneath me somewhere. Beetroot Moulin Rouge. My leeks, if I didn't say that already. Oh, I bought this as well from Pimbo Garden Centre. It's only a small garden centre, but it's always well stocked. It's really good. It's not far from where I live. So this is a Pinot Noir grape. Again, if you watched one of my last vlogs, either the last one or the one before that, I bought a green one from Wilco's. So I've at least now got like a green one and a black one, because I don't know if I lost my green or the black in winter that I already had from last year, but the black one was black Hamburg, if I lost that, so I chose this one rather than the black Hamburgs that they had at Pimbo, just so that if it's the black one that survived, I've got something different. What else? Oh, I did buy a aubergine Black Beauty as well, but that's in the greenhouse at home. Is that it? I feel like there was more. No. I think I've left something at home actually. I probably can't see. Oh no. I was looking for the other spring onions, but they're there. Right under my nose. As well, next door to me gave me a load of seed potatoes. He said, do you want them rather than going to waste? So I said, yeah, I'll have them. But I don't know where I'll put them at all. Give me a big bag of it. So they're all about that size. Yeah. She just bought them for eating, I think. She doesn't do growing veg. So, and I've got the manure to spread as well. I brought the strimmer. I'm not going to get round to strimming anything, I just know it. I'm not going to get round to anything if I don't shift my butt. So, I'm not going to film everything, I'm just going to get on with it and I'll show you what I've got up to. The first thing I'm going to do though is start watering. And the first thing I'm going to water is my spuds. I'll show you now what I mean. So these are my 3 big containers that I was on about. They've only had screen wash in them or something like that. I'm going to actually pour some water in this barrow from this one and see, look at this state of these potatoes. Now when I came during the week they were going really yellow, but today they look absolutely terrible. And I've picked the pot up and it's actually really light as a feather, so they all just need a soak, I think. So that's why I'm going to fill the wheelbarrow, let them soak, and then just before I leave I can pour the water on the beds. I just got those 2 bags of manure. Everything that I planted out a while ago must have rooted really well now, and everything's doing really well. This is my broad beans. I've actually got a couple of beans growing on this little one here. It's the smallest one and it's the only one that's got beans on yet, I think. Having a quick look. Yeah. Everything under the thicker netting actually is doing better. You know, I think the netting is providing some kind of shading, really. There's the big gourds, there's one there and one there. Oh, I brought my small gourds as well. They're like little orange gourds that I've brought as well with me. The kohlrabi and snowball turnips are all looking good. I'll uncover it because I can water it a little bit better then, instead of it all landing on the net. So there's my snowball turnips, looking a bit of a funny shape actually. They're supposed to be round, aren't they? Doesn't matter though. My broccoli. There's my cauliflowers. Some of them have had a nibbling, and this little one in between 2 big ones isn't doing very well, but hopefully it'll bounce back. There's another little one over there as well. I think they're suffering from dryness as well actually, so I'll give them a good soak. The cabbage is looking good. The curly kale, this is the dwarf one. And my lettuces. I'm not impressed with this fleece, it's just, it rips too easily. Look. It's like rice paper. Not impressed at all. I don't need it now, of course, to keep anything warm in this weather, but I kept it over to stop the pigeons. My sprouts are doing okay, and my spinach isn't bolting yet, so that's good. Need to weed all these thistles out of here as well. Oh, that must have been my curly kale over there. This kale is the Nero di Tuscany. It's not doing that well actually. It's just not getting any bigger. I think it just needs a good watering. There are onions in here actually from last year. I thought they'd all been eaten actually because the rat or something kept pulling them all up, but yeah. We gave these apples a good watering last time we came because this one's really suffering. It's got powdery mildew or something. Well, you know when they're too dry. Yeah, there's actually 2 in there. There's that little one as well. That one looks fine. Gooseberries are growing really well on the gooseberry bushes. So there's that one. So this little one I keep standing on. That one. I don't know if I've got, I've definitely got a red, and I thought I had a green, but the red one is green at first and then turns to red. So unfortunately the blueberry, it had 1 flower on it, I think. There you go, there it is, the 1 flower. Now somebody else's over the other side is full of flowers, so they're going to get loads of fruit. So I don't know why mine's unhappy, but we'll sort it. Another gooseberry. The currants are doing really well. There's loads on it this time. I think I've got a white, a red and a black, but I don't know which one's which. And the raspberries as well. There's red and there's fall gold there. I think that's the red over there. We'll see when they colour up. See these pumpkins, the leaves are going yellow. Now that to me says that they need more nutrients. And I did feed them during last week or the week before. So even though this soil hasn't been worked for a long time before I got this plot, I just presume this soil must be terrible. Because there was nothing really growing here last year either. I did have pumpkins, but they just didn't thrive at all. I know I'm stupid for putting them in the same place, but I thought I'll just feed them really well, you know. I suppose somebody who makes the same mistakes twice, they're really stupid, aren't they? That's me. Yeah, the sunflowers I was hoping were a lot taller than they actually are. But again, it's so dry, it's just so hard to keep them fed. When I water things, it's that parched, it's just running straight off. Maybe I should make like a little bowl shape around the plant and then it'll sit in and go straight down, but it's at least things are looking better than last year. Anyway, I'm just going to stop rambling on. I thought I'd just procrastinate for a minute and show you around. So the first thing I'm going to do is empty that tub of water in that wheelbarrow, and I'll show you what I got round to doing. I planted some of the yellow sweet corn into the gaps and just mulched with the manure. And I planted the green grape here next to the broad beans so that can climb up the old gazebo frame eventually. The Pinot Noir grape I planted next to the broccoli. I mulched around the pumpkins and gave it a self-watering bottle. The bergamot and the sage pineapple I planted at the edge of the asparagus bed, but they may get moved at a later date. I just put them here because I couldn't think where else to put them at this moment in time. And the same situation with some of the crystal apple cucumbers. I didn't get a chance to clear another bed, so in desperation I've put them in here with this apple tree. I'm hoping that the apple won't have enough roots, and the crystal apple won't have enough roots to disturb each other, and it won't matter eventually. The small little orange gourds are here next to the lettuce, and also some cucumber market mores. And because I had 3 left over, I've put them near the cabbage. And I will make a little frame for them to climb up. The dwarf French beans are planted where they originally were sown, but they'd rotted. These are what I had left over because I didn't have time to dig a bed. The red popping corn, some more beetroot, and the spring onions, and the leeks as well. And there's a rogue popping corn in there as well. I put the lemon balm in my herb border, and just 3 of the sage. I may give the other sage away that I'd sown because I don't want too many. This quince isn't looking very well at all. It looks very dry. It's just about clinging on in there, but that needs a good soaking, but it didn't get a soak today. 3 containers wasn't enough. I need 3 times as many. But the rosemary loves this kind of dry bed, so that's doing very well here. Those little alpine strawberries that I've just picked, I've just put in the freezer because I've never got enough that are ripened all at once to do anything with. So I thought if I keep just picking them when they're ready and put them in the freezer, then I might have enough eventually. I might actually make a rhubarb and alpine strawberry jam. I don't know if they'll go together or not, but I've not much rhubarb at the allotment that I can harvest. Because you can only harvest 1/3 to a half, you can't just pick it all at once apparently. So I did actually forget to, this is Sunday morning now, I did actually forget to bring some home, but it's probably best where it is at the minute until I've got enough strawberries as well. So yeah, because rhubarb apparently you can harvest it between March to the end of July, you know, spring to early summer. So it looked like it needed a bit of a watering really because it was all flopping over a little bit, but Yeah, I'll do that when I'm hoping to go back up Monday. So yeah, so that's all for this week's vlog. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Please like and subscribe. I really would appreciate your support, and thank you to all those that are supporting me already by having subscribed, and click the notification bell as well if you want notifications of when I upload videos. I do try to put one up at least once every week, but also we do garden visits and things like that as well. I'm hoping that we can go to Rufford Old Hall today, but the car park's only little and it might be busy on a lovely day like this, especially it being Sunday, so I might do that and I might not. So bye for now. If you're a little bit squeamish about rats, please look away now, fast forward it for a couple of minutes. This is what I mean by the power of plants. I'll show you how these rats were a week ago exactly. Okay, and I've been giving them Mer's tail, pulmonaria, and vitamins and minerals in the water. That's all, and keeping them warm, and that's it. This is Babu. He's not quite a hairless, but he's called a double Rex, so he's just got wisps. He looks bald, but he's got a little bit of peach fuzz and wispy bits. This one here is Chewy that is rattling. He's a Rex as well. He's got his coat's a bit, it's not curly, but it's like wavy. Just thought I'd show you them anyway. Such a friendly bunch of guys, aren't you? Right? So this is Chewy now. So this is Chewy. He was the one that was extremely rattly last week. And as you can hear, he's not rattling at all today. Yesterday he wasn't rattling most of the time, but he'd have a slight rattle when he was chuddering to me. He's very much a chatterer, is Chewy. Yeah, do you want this? It's only a radish leafless. He chudders a bit like a ferret. He's always done it. But, I mean, I'll put him really close. You can't hear him rattling at all. His chest is totally cleared up, it seems. It could have a relapse though. But I'm just going to carry on, I think, for a little bit longer. Maybe another 3 days, giving him the Mer's tail and what have you, and then just leave them, see what they're like. I don't want to give it on too long. The pulmonaria, I've not many leaves left on it, so I'm just going to carry on with the Mer's tail, I think. Anyway, that's Chewy. I'm back in Chewy. Jangs. Oh. Django's a bit shy. Come on, Jack. Now, Django didn't really have any physical symptoms. He was just, I just thought I saw him shivering one day, but as you can see, he's fine. I could tell they were getting better when they started getting naughty. They're being naughty, they're getting better. A bit like children. Go on. In you go. They've just had chicken, they're expecting other things, I think. Other goodies. Now, come on, Babu. Come on, lad. Oh, he's all warm and sweaty. Come on. So, I don't know which bit I'm editing from the other video, but there's nothing wrong with Babu. He's not meant to have any hair. He's not a proper hairless. He's just called a double Rex. He's got so much Rex gene in him that it causes him to just not have much hair. He's just got wisps. Now, here, Babu. Now, Babu had a really watery eye on this side. Just this side. As you can see, he's, you know, it did completely clear up, and then he had a little tiny relapse where he had just a little bit, but it's clearing up again now, so yeah. Like I said, I hope people haven't judged me for not taking him to the vets, but it cost me £35 to take a budgie to the vets, and they didn't end up fixing it. He ended up dying. I don't think it was fixable actually, because I think he'd crashed into something and shattered his little bones, but I think for a rat it's like £25 each just for the consultation. So if it was a contagious thing, obviously I'm talking £75 before you know, they've even done anything. The money wasn't the reason I didn't take them. It's because other people have had experience where antibiotics don't work all the time. That's why I'd rather look to the natural resources that you could use in herbs and things. It won't work for everybody, and I was willing to risk it myself. But as you can see, that is the result. Yeah, of just weeds in your garden. Well, I say a weed and a proper plant. Yeah.